Since the dawn of man, we have relied on communication to grow and thrive as a species. The idea of communication was integral to the growth of human society as we know it today. Our ability to communicate is what allowed the progression of the modern world. With the progression of society, communication has allowed the exchange of ideas and advanced technology at an exponential rate. From the carrier pigeon to the text message, technology has allowed the communication of ideas faster than ever. Technology has drastically changed the world of communication. Ever since the invention of cell phones and the internet, people can now communicate without meeting face to face. This has created a privilege and convenience for individuals, but it has also encouraged antisocial behavior. Many people use their cell phones as a way to look busy, signaling to others that they don't want to socialize. Has technology improved communication, or has it actually hampered it? This is the question that we are trying to answer today. We are looking for the reasons as to how and why technology has changed the world of communication. Our team is on a mission to figure out how technology has changed oral communication in the digital era. How has technology changed the way you communicate related to your profession, whether teaching or anything you may have had before this, such as Blackboard, email, anything like that? Also, how do you feel technology has kind of advanced throughout your life, and how have you seen it go?
Well, I guess I'm on the edge. My first year after graduating as an undergraduate in my master's program, I had my first email. So that was 1991. So I've been on email since 1991. I was on the web as soon as it was invented in 1994. So I've sort of been on all the time. So it's in my professional life. So I haven't seen a lot of changes. Well, I've seen a lot of changes, but it's technology is part of what education is about for me. What I have seen is it's a lot easier to communicate with a lot of people at one time now than it used to be. And the other major change is just how immediate everything is, that people expect things to happen immediately because of access to technology. But the other big change is just the move toward web and hybrid classes that I was teaching. I never took an online class because they essentially didn't exist before, but I was teaching them 17 or 18 years ago, so I've been in it for a while.
Blackboard? It hasn't. Why? Because I use the whiteboard and I use the in-class materials. I hand things out. I do use email with students, but I have not yet gotten into the world of Blackboard. However, with the new iteration of Blackboard that's coming out, it looks like it's much more accessible, much more promising.
I think, just most broadly, it's just communication is 24/7 now. It didn't used to be that way. There were news cycles, and there were expectations that you could call somebody's house at a certain time and they'd be there, or they wouldn't be there, you leave a message. There's the expectation that people weren't on call all the time. So the really big change has simply been that technology, particularly cell phone, mobile technologies, have made us always available all the time.
On the phone, when I'm having a phone call, I probably use it every day just to keep up with friends, family. I commute, so I use my car rides to kind of keep up with people.
Oh God, I think I probably use it like 2 hours a day maybe, just to call my mom or my boyfriend.
I just use it for, 2-3 hours a week. Not much because these days we don't usually call people and we just always like texting. We have social media, so we are texting that there, so not much talking going on.
Well, I only use it because it's there, so if I didn't have it, like, it wouldn't really be a problem. I'm also, like, the worst texter ever. I usually don't respond to things because I just look at it and put it down, so I think I could do it.
I prefer to text. I don't know, I feel like it's just, like, it's easier to get, like, straight to the point.
I hate talking on the phone. Because I don't know, I feel like it's easier to like think about what you're gonna say and type it out rather than blurt something out and like regret it.
Yeah, I feel like it's more efficient. You could just send a quick text instead of actually having to type out a number and wait for them to pick up their phone. So it's kind of like just instant message.
Text message, definitely, and because, like, with my friends, they're in school, so it's, like, easier to text, and with my parents, they're at work, so then it's easier for them to text me back than to, like, have a conversation with me on the phone.
I think I'd rather text or email just because it's so much easier. I've started to hate talking over the phone, but, I mean, I'll do it, and I have to do it every day, so there's really nothing about it that I can change, but I'd much rather just send it in a text or something like that.
I think right now a cell phone, the phone part is the maybe third or fourth thing that people think about. It's a small computer that happens to have phone technology on it, but the texting technology, the web browsing technology, even the game playing technology sort of outpaces the phone technology nowadays. And again, it's always on and on anywhere is what, the major change.
I don't know, I talk to my mom every day, and I feel like if I didn't have my cell phone, I wouldn't be in contact with her. If I needed to get something done with my phone, like I needed to text my boss or call someone, I feel like it's important to have your phone so you can keep in contact with people because you're not necessarily going to see that person every day.
Yes. I just went on vacation and I didn't have cell phone service, and it was a week without my cell phone, and it was awesome. It was liberating. Just because, like, you're not being constantly distracted, you can focus on what you're doing. It's, as much as we're in the digital age, it was really nice.
Probably not. I'd like to be ambitious and say I could, but in all honesty, if I lost my cell phone, I'd probably cry. It's very difficult to work when you don't have something to just keep in contact with people.
I mean, in all honesty, I probably couldn't. It just keeps me connected with people, finding out what they're doing. It's very easy to communicate with people. I don't know. I use my phone a lot, so I probably couldn't do it.
Oh, I can't. My phone, I check my email, I call everyone that I love, obviously, and I don't know, it's just so accessible that I want to check something, it's right there. So I don't think I can live without a week without my phone. I think I'll faint.
I think I could, just because it's not something I really depend on too much. I mean, I do use it a lot, but I don't think I would have a problem not seeing it for a full week.
Yeah, I think I'd be happy to. It's kind of a nuisance sometimes.
In terms of communication between individuals, when I was a teen, I had a girlfriend, I wanted to call her, I had to walk a quarter of a mile to a payphone with a pocket full of dimes to call her. And I didn't have an awful lot of dimes, so the conversation had to be done very quickly. The idea of being able to take a phone out of your pocket, this is science fiction. The change has been enormous.
Yes, absolutely. I am always on my phone if I'm in an awkward situation, because if I don't want to talk to the person or I feel uncomfortable, I'll just take out my phone and text someone saying that I feel uncomfortable, or just to like distract myself. Because if there's like no conversation flowing, I'm bored, so I'll just go on my phone.
Yeah, so that way people, you just don't sit there and like have nothing in your hand, because it's like, what do? Like, you could easily just be like, oh, I'm actually talking to somebody else, so you don't look so awkward.
Oh, I totally do. I mean, I don't need to, but it's better than like, having to like make that awkward eye contact, and it makes it look like you're busy, even though you're probably just like swiping back and forth. So yeah, I totally do that.
Oh, for sure. Definitely in the elevator, probably every single time. It's just really awkward situations, just alleviates that just by looking at your phone. Sometimes becomes more awkward, but definitely it helps.
Why are you calling me at work? I've told you to never call me here. What? You put the what in the what? Why? You do not put tinfoil into the microwave. Why would you do that? Like, there's no reason. Why would you put olive oil into tinfoil and then put that in the microwave? The house is on fire. I get that. Yes, I know it's on fire because that's exactly the kind of thing that starts a fire. No, you can't just do that. You can't. That is unacceptable on so many levels. Like, I can't deal with this while I'm here. The house is on fire and I'm breaking up with you. Okay, thanks, bye.
It's different today. You have the ability to turn it on and get messages from Facebook, which is what I'm doing right now. I've got messages from Facebook here.
Most likely, yeah. I work, I'm gonna go get my master's in college student personnel, and so I feel like you kind of have to know in that field who you're working with, and so, you know, obviously it's kind of vain, but, you know, they might look at what my profile is before they actually meet me.
I don't believe so. I've only had 2 jobs, and my second job was the one that my mom used to work there. So, I mean, they didn't really have a need. Like, I kind of had an in. So, not yet, but I feel like in the future they definitely will, just because I think it gives so much information about a person.
Definitely. I actually know someone who's employed to hack into Facebooks and like look up the pictures that you've deleted and the ones that are there, just so they can know if whether or not you're a person that should be hired.
We follow legal procedures to hire people, but when I'm communicating with people on Facebook or people say from my town, there's a lot of town politics going on right now, I will use Facebook. I'll use any type of search method to be able to get a better understanding of who I'm dealing with. I started going into college using an electronic typewriter and came out using the machines there for word processing. So then I, sort of just moved on up through using, using computers. And for me right now, I barely write anything by hand. It's illegible, and using a computer is really an extension of my thought process. There's no difference between what's happening in my head and what's happening in the computer through the keyboard. So it's one of the ways I think.
Right now I'm fine with online dating. I think it does the job well. It's a productive way to find people that share similar interests, and I have no problem against doing it the old-fashioned way, but it just seems easier for me, so I'll probably keep doing it.
I don't know, I just think online dating's ridiculous. If you like someone or if you want to talk to someone, you should just walk up to them and say something. If you have to hide your face behind a phone or a computer, it's not like true feelings.
It's a lot easier to contact people, and it leaves out that awkward, like, hey, do you like me, do I like you kind of thing. So it just makes it easier in general.
For me, yeah, I can talk to people online just like as a get to know the person, but when it comes to the dating, I would prefer it to be as like in a personal level than just over the technology, because you never really know the person if you don't meet them and actually get to know them. So for me, it has to be in person.
I don't know, because of that TV show Catfish, I just never know if someone's like catfishing me. You never know, like the way that the world works now, you don't know. So I prefer like meeting the individual in person instead of like Tinder, because you just never know. There's creepy people.
The computer is a tremendous tool. It's a tremendous tool. However, along with headphones, which work at 80 dB, which is the threshold of damage to your ears, the screens damage your eyes, the way in which you work with the keyboard causes pain in your shoulders and neck, causes TMJ, causes a whole bunch of other things if you don't figure out how to ergonomically work with it effectively. So it has a tremendous potential, but it has consequences in terms of your physical being.